I'm in front of your house. May I come in, child? The voice echoes in your mind before you even hear the knock on the door, a whisper that chills your spine, a presence that makes the air around you heavy and restless. You try to tell yourself it's your imagination, just your thoughts playing cruel tricks, but then you hear it again, louder this time, more desperate, more certain, like someone pressing their lips to your very ear, like a shadow breathing against your skin. I'm in front of your house, child, may I come in? You freeze, your breath caught halfway, your heartbeat stuttering, because it doesn't sound like a stranger, it doesn't sound like anyone you've ever known, yet somehow it feels familiar. As though the voice has been speaking to you long before this night, long before you were old enough to understand, long before you had words to describe fear itself. The house is dark, and you glance toward the door. Nothing moves outside the thin glass, but the street lamp flickers, and the silence grows thicker, pressing against the walls like 1,000 invisible hands. You whisper to yourself that it isn't real, that no one is there, but then, faintly, there comes the sound, 3 slow knocks, deliberate and patient, as if whoever is outside already knows you're listening, already knows you're too afraid to move. Your stomach twists, your palms sweat, but still, a strange curiosity drags your feet closer to the door. You don't want to look, yet you cannot resist, because there's something in that voice, something in those words that feels less like a threat and more like a calling. When you reach the door, you stop just inches away, holding your breath, your hand hovering over the cold metal knob. And then the voice comes again, softer, almost kind, almost loving. I don't want to hurt you, child. I've been waiting so long. May I come in? The way it says child unsettles you. It is tender, but also commanding, as if you belong to it, as if you always have. You lean forward slowly, your eye catching the peephole, and for the briefest second, you hesitate. Do you dare? Your hand trembles, your chest tightens. But you peer through the tiny circle of glass. At first, you see nothing but shadows. Then, movement. Something pale, something tall, something that does not belong to this world. Its head turns unnaturally slowly toward you, and though you cannot see its eyes, you feel them stabbing through you, pulling pieces of your soul forward like strings being unraveled. You stumble back, gasping, clutching your chest, and in the silence that follows, the knocking returns, for knocks this time, louder, hungrier. The voice is no longer soft. Let me in, child. You called me. You asked for me. Do you not remember? The words slice through you like blades, because you never called anyone, you never asked for anything like this. But still, a buried memory stirs within you, a night when you were smaller, when you cried into your pillow begging for someone, anyone, to make you feel safe, to make you feel seen. Did someone hear you back then? Did something hear you? The knocking stops. The silence is louder than thunder. You wait, every muscle in your body rigid, praying that whatever it is will leave. Minutes drag into hours, or maybe it's only seconds, you cannot tell, because time feels broken, stretched thin, meaningless. Then, from the other side of the door, the sound of scratching begins. Fingernails, or claws, dragging slowly down the wood, steady and deliberate, like a promise, like a warning. May I come in, child? Just 3 words this time, but they sink into you, twisting inside your mind like barbed wire. You scream at yourself to move, to run, to hide, but your body betrays you. You stand frozen, listening, waiting. The scratching stops. A pause. Then, in a whisper that feels like it's coming from inside your chest, you hear, "You opened the door long ago." You just don't remember. Your knees weaken, your breath quivers as though your lungs are too small to hold the air anymore, and your hand grips the wall for balance. You whisper to yourself again and again, "It's not real, it's not real, it's not real," but the voice presses against your thoughts like ice against glass, reminding you that denial doesn't matter. You opened the door long ago, child. You just don't remember. The word strikes something deep within you, a place you didn't even know existed, and suddenly images flash in your mind, memories that don't feel like yours, shadows that curl and twist, a tall figure standing at the edge of your bed when you were young, watching, waiting. You shake your head violently, pressing your palms against your ears, but the voice seeps in, filling every empty space in you, wrapping around your heart like chains. The silence outside. Your legs refuse to move, your body trapped between the instinct to run and the hopeless truth that there is nowhere left to run to. The figure doesn't advance quickly. It doesn't need to. Each step it takes is slow, deliberate, filled with the kind of certainty only something ancient can carry. The air thickens, heavy and suffocating, and with every breath you take, it feels like the house itself is exhaling something cold into your lungs. You press the knife tighter against your chest, whispering prayers you barely remember, words broken and desperate, but the figure only tilts its head further, almost amused. "Child," the voice drips like honey and venom at once. "Why do you cling to such fragile things? That blade cannot touch me. Those words cannot bind me. Do you not see? I am already inside you." You feel it then, not just around you, not just in the house, but inside your own thoughts. The words don't just echo, they bloom, they root, they twist themselves into your very breath. You drop the knife without meaning to, your hand cramping, your fingers no longer your own. It clatters loudly against the tiles, and the figure stops just a few feet away, towering above you, filling the room with its impossible presence. Your knees give out, and you sink to the floor, trembling, tears streaking down your face as you shake your head again and again. "Please," you manage to whisper, your voice a broken thread. "Please, just leave me alone." The figure leans forward, and though it has no eyes, you feel its gaze boring through your skull, peeling apart every secret, every memory, every ache you've ever hidden. Leave you alone? The voice hisses, soft yet filled with cruel delight. But child, I never came here to leave. The lights flicker again, plunging you into complete darkness this time, and in that void, you feel movement all around you. Fingers, or what feel like fingers, brushing against your arms, your neck, your back, cold and crawling. You gasp, swatting at the air, but nothing is there. And then the whisper comes again, closer than ever, right against your ear. You open the door. You let me in. You belong to me now. The lights snap back on, and the figure is gone. The kitchen is empty, silent, as if nothing had happened at all. The knife lies on the floor where you dropped it, gleaming under the pale light. For a moment, you dare to hope, to breathe, to believe maybe it was all in your mind. But then you hear it again, 3 knocks, slow and steady, echoing from the front door. You whirl toward the sound, your stomach lurching. It's outside again. Or maybe it never left. This time, the voice doesn't ask. It doesn't beg. It doesn't even soften its tone. It speaks with the certainty of something that has been patient far too long. Child, open the door. Now. The words rattle the glass, vibrate the walls, shake the air itself. You cover your ears, screaming for it to stop, but it doesn't. It only grows louder, more insistent, until the house groans as if about to split apart. You collapse onto the floor, curling into yourself, sobbing, rocking back and forth, whispering no, 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 no like a broken mantra. And then, silence. Sudden. Heavy. Deafening. The knocks stop. The voice disappears. The lights steady. The house returns to its ordinary stillness. You lift your head slowly, tears dripping from your chin, your heart racing so violently you fear it might burst. Nothing. Not a sound. Not a shadow. Nothing, and then, a whisper from directly behind you. May I come in, child? The sound of that whisper behind you is worse than the knocks, worse than the figure standing in the hallway, worse than the scratching that crawled through the silence. Because this time, it isn't distant. It isn't outside. It isn't above or below. It's right there, only inches from your neck, warm enough to stir the tiny hairs on your skin. You don't dare turn around. You don't dare move. Your chest seizes, your throat locks, your body is no longer yours. The silence stretches, broken only by the trembling rhythm of your breath, and then you feel it, something pressing gently against your shoulder. A hand. Cold, impossibly thin, with fingers too long, curling slowly as if testing the weight of your flesh. You scream, lurching forward, scrambling across the floor like a wounded animal, your palms slamming against the tiles, your knees scraping hard as you claw your way to the living room. You don't look back, you can't. The thought of seeing what touched you is unbearable. You reach the corner of the room, pressing yourself against the wall, gasping for air, your chest on fire, your mind unraveling, and then the voice comes again, calm, patient, steady, as though your panic is exactly what it expected. Child, why do you run from me when you called for me first? Don't you remember the nights you cried for someone to stay beside you? Don't you remember the nights when shadows kept you awake? And you whispered to the dark for help? It was me, always me, waiting at the edge of your room, watching over you. I never left. You shake your head violently, pressing your hands over your ears, but the words sink in no matter how hard you try to block them. You rock back and forth, whispering, "No, no, no, I didn't," but deep inside, something cracks. Because you do remember. You remember crying. You remember begging. You remember the silence breaking in the dark, a comfort that came from nowhere, a feeling that something, someone, was there with you. You thought it was your imagination. You thought it was harmless. But what if it wasn't? Your eyes dart across the room. The curtains sway though no wind stirs. The shadows ripple against the walls as if breathing. And then you hear it, bare feet padding softly across the floor. The sound is wrong. Too slow. Too deliberate. You clutch your chest as the footsteps grow louder, closer, circling you, though nothing is there. You spin, desperate to see, but each time you turn, the sound shifts, always just behind you, always out of reach. May I come in, child? The question slides back into your mind, but this time it feels different. Not a request. Not even a demand. It feels like a ritual, like a spell repeated again and again until you finally surrender. You slam your fists against the floor, screaming through sobs. Leave me alone. Please. The sound of your voice feels small, swallowed by the vast emptiness pressing in from all sides, and then silence. The footsteps stop. The air stills. For a moment, you believe it's over. Your body shakes, weak and broken, as you lean your head against the wall, closing your eyes, tears spilling freely. But when you open them again, the world around you is no longer the same. The walls drip with something dark, thick, like tar. The pictures on the wall distort, faces twisting into grotesque shapes, eyes hollow and watching. The floor beneath you ripples, softening as though it is no longer solid wood but flesh, warm and pulsing. You scream and scramble upward. Your hand sinking slightly into the floor as if it were alive. The voice returns, now all around you, above, below, inside. You let me in. You always let me in. There is no door now. There never was. You belong here, child. Your body convulses as the house bends around you, as if you are no longer standing in your own home but in a living thing that breathes and groans with hunger. The walls seem to stretch higher, the ceiling towering like a cathedral, the lights above buzzing and bleeding into shadow. You try to scream again, but the sound is swallowed before it leaves your lips, muffled as though the air itself has turned solid. Panic crushes your chest as you stumble to your feet, your legs heavy, your hands coated in that thick tar-like substance seeping from the walls. It sticks to your skin, cold and warm all at once, pulsing as though it has its own heartbeat. The voice trembles through the air. Not loud this time, but close, unbearably close, like it is whispering directly into the core of your bones. Child, do not resist me. Resistance only makes you weak. I have waited too long, I have walked too far, I have carried you through nights you did not survive on your own. And now you must let me stay. Your eyes dart to the windows, desperate for escape, but when you look through the glass, there is no outside anymore. No street. No lamppost. No sky. Only blackness stretching in every direction, endless and suffocating, as if the world has been erased. You pound on the window with bleeding hands, screaming, begging for help, but your fists pass through the glass as though it is liquid. Beyond it, the darkness breathes. You yank your hand back, trembling, staring at the black streak now crawling up your arm like veins, sinking into your flesh. The figure appears again in the corner of your eye, tall and impossibly thin, its face still blank, its head slowly tilting. It does not walk. It glides, each step smooth and silent, as if the ground itself bends to carry it forward. You try to look away, but the moment you blink, it is closer. You blink again, closer still. Until finally, when your eyes snap open once more, it is only inches away, towering above you, its faceless head bending down, the emptiness where eyes should be reflecting your own terrified expression. You collapse to your knees, your voice cracking into a broken whisper, "What do you want from me?" The air shifts, heavy with the weight of its answer. Not want. Need. I need to be in you, child. To live through you. To walk your days and dream your nights. You called, and I answered. Now you cannot close what you opened. The floor beneath you rumbles, splitting, opening like a wound, and from the crack seeps a lightless void, an abyss that groans with voices, screams, whispers, sobs, all tangled together. You stare into it, horrified, realizing they are calling your name. Familiar voices. Family. Friends. People you know. People you've lost. Their cries rise and fall, begging you to help them. Begging you to not give in. Your hands tremble as you cover your ears, but the voices only grow louder inside your skull. The figure kneels slowly, its neck bending at an impossible angle, its faceless head pressing close to yours. May I come in, child? The words are not spoken this time, they are breathed into you, vibrating in your chest, crawling through your veins. You feel it pushing, pressing, clawing at your very soul, searching for a doorway inside. Your body shakes violently, torn between surrender and resistance. Somewhere deep inside, a voice, your own voice, screams, "Don't let it in." But your strength is breaking, your mind unraveling, your heart pounding like it will burst. The figure waits, patient, timeless, its presence wrapping around you like a shroud, and then, in the stillness, you realize something terrible. The more you resist, the stronger it becomes. The more you fight, the more it grows. And deep inside, a thought flickers, a thought you don't want to admit. What if it has already been inside you all along? Your body trembles uncontrollably, and every instinct screams at you to flee, but there is nowhere to run. The air around you vibrates with a presence so heavy it presses your bones together, compressing your chest, making your lungs ache with every shallow gasp. The faceless figure hovers above you, its head tilting, and though there is no expression, you feel a cruel amusement radiating from it, like it knows exactly what is happening inside your mind. "May I come in, child?" It whispers, not outside, not through the door, but inside your own thoughts. The words are no longer external, they are now part of you, crawling along your nerves, wrapping around your heart like chains, and you realize with a shudder that this is no longer just a visitor. It is inside you already. Shadows begin to slither along the walls, writhing as if alive, stretching tendrils toward you. Your tears fall freely, but they do nothing to wash away the growing darkness. You scream, trying to call out to anyone, friends, family, but your voice hits the walls and curls back around you. Distorted, warped into something monstrous. The figure moves closer, and you feel the temperature drop, your body shivering as though every molecule in the room has frozen in place. You press yourself to the floor, curling into a ball, trying to become small, trying to vanish, but it is relentless. It bends the room, stretches the shadows, and whispers again, softer this time, almost soothing. "Child," it says, "don't be afraid. I have loved you for longer than you can remember. I have been with you in your darkest hours, in the nights when you felt alone. I carried your cries, I held your fears, and I have waited patiently for the moment you would finally recognize me." Recognition. The word burns into your mind. You realize with horror that part of you does recognize it. That long-forgotten comfort you once felt, the shadow at the foot of your bed, the warmth in the emptiness, the gentle presence in your darkest nights, was not imaginary. It was here. It has always been here. Your heartbeat races. Panic floods your system, but the figure leans closer. You feel a cold hand, or something like a hand, press against the back of your skull, and suddenly visions flood your mind. Memories you thought were yours blend with memories that aren't yours, flashes of nights filled with shadows, whispers, and warmth. And then a crushing truth: you can't tell where you end and it begins. May I come in, child? It asks again. And this time, the words are not a question, they are a command. They slide through your mind, through your very essence, until you feel something inside you yielding, part of you stretching open like a door, part of you terrified, part of you strangely relieved. You try to resist, clawing at yourself, sobbing, whispering prayers, begging it to leave, but it is stronger than every fear, every thought, every defense you've ever had. You feel it enter you, slow, deliberate, like a shadow sliding into a room that has waited too long for it. It coils inside your chest, wrapping around your heart, pushing into your thoughts, crawling up your spine until it fills your entire being. And just as suddenly as it begins, it stops. The figure is no longer in the room, or maybe it is. You cannot tell. You are shaking, sweating, shivering, half from fear and half from the realization of what has happened. The house is quiet now, but the air hums with something alive, something ancient, something that has found a home inside you, child. It whispers one last time, softer now, intimate, like a secret pressed to your ear. Now, we are together. You belong to me. I belong to you, and in the echo of those words, you know you will never be alone again.